Hey guys, it's Kip from Famous by Friday Pickleball. I got a brand new paddle to review, the Veloz Ellipse 16 millimeter. So you guys know I love upstart companies, and Veloz is an upstart company. I also love outside the box thinking, kind of next generation, just how the pickleball paddle is going to evolve. So Veloz checks off both of those boxes. It's fascinating kind of what they've done with their first paddle. The Ellipse it's an edgeless paddle, as you can see. And with this 360-degree carbon wrap, Veloz says this will increase the sweet spot and it creates a dynamic tension when the ball is struck for more drive, more control, and more touch. We hear a lot of paddle companies say that about their paddles, that it's going to be, more power, more control, more everything. Some do, some don't, but Veloz has taken a kind of a different approach to doing this. So I'm very excited to get out and hit this paddle. It's got 4 layers of carbon. We don't see that very often because that's a lot of layers over a polypropylene core. But it took these 4 layers of carbon and Veloz put it under pressure and heat for 3 hours to kind of mold this together to give it more consistent surface across the face. They also say it will create this maximum friction along with the dynamic tension to give you that more control and more drive and more touch. It takes 7 hours to create one paddle, Veloz says on their website. So I'm very anxious to get out and hit this. Love new technology. Love the look of this paddle. I like the edge guard. That's a nice little touch. I hope you can see that on the camera. So headed out to the courts right now. Hope you are too. You get to hit this paddle with me and we'll see how it goes. Very excited. The Veloz Ellipse 16 millimeter. Headed to the courts right now. I'll be back.
So heavy after using that other one. Oh my god, it's so
Hey guys, I'm back. Just spent the last few weeks hitting this new Veloz Ellipse 16 millimeter paddle. I think I mentioned in the intro about the 360 degree carbon wrap, and that wrap creates this dynamic tension that makes a large sweet spot, which should equal just consistency, and every ball that hits on the face should have the same results. Now, that being said, those are pretty high standards, because when you hit out here on any paddle, it's going to be bad. But this paddle kind of does some cool things, and I'll kind of go through them one by one. It does some really interesting things. And I love what Veloz has done with this paddle. With the sweet spot, with the sweet spot combined with the 4 layers of carbon on the surface. Even though they heat it and pressurize it for 3 hours to make it kind of one piece, it's still 4 pieces of carbon, so it's still really soft. So as I say, it's soft and it has a large sweet spot. I thought, okay, it's just not going to have much power, because the ball just sets on there. The dwell time, it's got a long dwell time. The ball just sets on there. It is soft. So I thought there's not going to be any power from this paddle. And I was a little shocked at that. When I hit it for serving speeds, and I'll post those as well, they were upper 40s, 49, 49, 47. And my normal serve speed somewhere around 43. So that's a substantial increase, and that really surprised me, coming from a soft paddle that really has a lot of feel. So it has almost this sneaky power that you don't really expect. So that really intrigues me, and that intrigued me even more. So I took it back out and I kept hitting this paddle. I wanted to see kind of what else it could do. It does have the large sweet spot. It really does. It's not all the way to the borders. It's not enormous, but it is large, so you can hit this paddle pretty much anywhere on the face. It's also very easy to maneuver. It's nice and headlight. You can get it through the zone really quick, and you can flick it if you want to. You can do top spin. This paddle offers a lot of things, and with the longer dwell time, because it's so soft, you can really let the ball grab on there, and you're almost throwing it a little bit. And that may be where the power comes from, is you're almost throwing this. Now, what happens when you start throwing the ball? If I go back to, tennis days, and if you had loose strings, you had a little bit of power, but you start throwing it and you lose accuracy. You end up not having, you're not hitting this, you're not dropping this ball on a dime exactly where you're aiming it, because I feel like this paddle almost throws it a little bit. Now, can you dial that down and kind of dial it in, and maybe not aim for a line, or not aim for a corner, or not, just push dink all the way out to the side? Yeah, you can dial it down, and you can still play with this. It's playable, and it's kind of a fun paddle to hit. It's just fascinating new technology. I like this paddle a lot. The only other bad thing I could possibly say is with the dwell time and how soft it is, I really thought it would spin more. And it doesn't really spin that much. It does spin, but it's not a great spin paddle, and I don't really play with a lot of spin, so that's not a giant deal breaker for me. But I was shocked when you have a soft paddle that you didn't have more spin. So it's got a lot of good qualities. I really like this paddle a lot. Veloz has really done something cool with these paddles. It's fascinating technology, and to spend 7 hours making each paddle indicates how much care and how much pride they have in this. Now, this paddle does come in at, I believe, $239 US. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that, because it is we are seeing paddle prices go up. This is up. It's kind of on the higher end of paddles. But once again, there's a lot of technology in here, and at 7 hours a piece, there's a lot of care that goes into these paddles. If you're looking for, I would try this. I would really give this a shot. It's fascinating. If this, now I always end these, is this going to go in my bag? And no is likely not, but I have gone out to the court with this paddle. I've done drills with this paddle. I've spent a lot of time with this paddle. I think I've said before in videos, if I took the wrong bag out or put the wrong paddle in the bag, if it was this paddle, I wouldn't mind it at all. I could play with this all day. It's comfortable. It does so many things well. If you're in a market for a paddle, try this bad boy right here. The Veloz Ellipse 16 millimeters. It's a fascinating paddle. I'd love to hear from you guys if you've tried it, if you played with this paddle, what your thoughts are. As always, hit like, hit subscribe, get out and play. Try this paddle. It's a lot of fun. Does a lot of things well. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll be back.
Missed it at the end. Doggone.